Even the frontage of this tube station is designed by two of the greats, Charles Holden and Leslie Green.
Yep, and we have been here before on a hangout, but today we're discovering unseen parts of the station.
A station I think we all think we know, but there's going to be some hidden gems.
Some might say Holborn, but today we're at Holborn.
All right, okay. So this is where we are.
In this week's episode,
Through there is where the tour's going to be going, which is the spiral staircase.
I'm just loving the Blair Witch vibe in here.
Right, guys.
I really want to twist one of these knobs.
These tiles, I'm absolutely in love with this design.
And if you've enjoyed this, book yourself a tour.
God, it looks like something out of the alien ship.
Greetings, welcome to another episode of the Hidden London Hangouts. My name's Alex, and today we are off somewhere which is so cool, so incredibly cool, we've opened a tour about it that you can go and see. But there are some parts of the station that we can't show you because it's either too unsafe or too difficult to get to. And that is what today is all about. I don't do this on my own. I've got three lovely people from the London Transport Museum, all experts and joyful people in themselves and wonderful in the pub. First of all, Mr. Nix, Mr. Christopher Nix, you're just thumbing through the paper, aren't you?
Yeah, we've had our piece in the Metro, which is rather nice. We have a look. We managed to get a whole page spread in the paper, all about Hidden London Hangouts.
Isn't that gorgeous? Right beside the "Don't Mind the Dentures" advert. That is absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Siddy Holloway,
isn't it?
you're looking fabulous in that photograph. If I remember rightly, we took that at Liverpool Street, didn't we?
We did indeed, yeah, in that corridor. Fine selfie work there from all of us, I will say. It's fun though. I'm pleased we got in, and I didn't expect it to be a whole
Centre
page.
spread.
Mm.
It was gorgeous. I mean, I must admit, there's a slight story to this because my mum still gets very excited. Hello, mum. She gets very excited whenever I appear in either the Radio Times or in the paper for whatever reason. And so she decided to hot foot down to town to get herself 10 copies. I don't know what she's going to do with them, but she's got 10 copies of that Metro newspaper. Laura Hilton Brown, I'm sure you're far more measured.
Well, I didn't even get one copy, so if I could steal
Have one of mine.
your 10 copies.
I have multiple copies.
Yeah.
Because I arrived home, to which my husband was like, "Have you got a copy to show the kids?" And I was like, "Oh no, I don't. I didn't bother bringing it. I recycled it." And then I thought better of it, and I thought I should have taken one. But actually, my train was late that day, so I actually thumbed straight to the back, not straight through the paper, got to that section. I was like, "Oh my goodness, there's our four little faces."
I'll be honest with you, whenever I get the Metro newspaper, Law, there's two things I look for: the bit about the tube and the horoscopes. That's the first two bits I go and look at.
Are you a horoscoper?
Oh,
Absolutely, absolutely. I
It's
check at the
lovely.
beginning of the
Isn't
day
it?
to see what it's going to be like, and the end of the day with the Evening Standard to double check what was meant to have happened.
Okie doke, there you go.
it ever worked out for you, Alex?
Yeah.
It's marvellous stuff.
Yeah, how's
No,
that
no,
work?
we're in Holborn
that
today. We're in Holborn
I've got
today.
a bridge
We're
I'd like to
open.
sell you.
Holborn?
We're in Holborn. We're in Holborn today, and it's not our first rodeo at Holborn, because
No.
in the very, very first series, we were down there at Kingsway, but poor old Nixie was laid up with COVID, and Siddy was in charge of the slideshow. It was all very exciting. In
You
fact,
say that like it was like an absolute, yeah, God, that was a long time ago though, wasn't it?
That was when you
Remember?
were doing the Kingsway episode, wasn't it? But
Mhm.
then we have been back as well, of course, with me to do a proper look around the place as well.
Yeah.
well, it's good
Yeah.
job we're back, because at least we've got the start and the stop of the episode on this one. Because the last one was a complete ham-fisted job. The best we could manage given the COVID situation. But today, as we say, this is not what's going to be on the tour that you can go and have a look at. And I really heartily recommend it. It's a beautiful station. Tile work is gorgeous, and much of it still survives behind panelling. But this is the places that perhaps we can't go to, isn't it, Nixie?
Absolutely, yeah. With any tour of stations, there's always a few places that are just too tricky. They may be too small for the group size that we need to take round, or they've got some other restriction about them that just makes them impractical to include on the tour. So if you want to get a bit of a teaser of the things that you will see on the public tour, go back and watch our original episode on Holborn. But this is the extras bit, which if you do book a tour of Holborn, I think you'll find interesting to see alongside those bits that we can take people into.
Gorgeous stuff. Very quickly, Siddy, you've written the tour guide. What was the most interesting thing you can remember from the things that you did research on?
Yeah, so Holborn obviously very connected to the Aldwych branch and all of that. Most interesting. I did find it quite interesting to learn a bit more about the laboratory that was there from the 30s. So Birkbeck College was actually conducting particle physics experiments there as early as 1932. I think that's quite fascinating. And actually finding out how many films were shot in Holborn during the 80s and the 90s before it got so busy that they basically kind of decided not to use it as a location anymore, because it's very distinct. And actually, when you go on the tour, you'll be able to see.
It's
The thing I
stuff.
find most interesting about it is watching Alex's expression every time someone says Holborn rather than Holborn.
Do you know, can you actually see me slightly twitch?
See the bridling going on every time.
I'm really trying to hide it. I'm really trying to. Every time, Holborn, Holborn. Don't like it. However you say it, with his Good Street, Holborn, whatever. It's all good. Let's have a look at what we found. Well, do you know what? It's quite nice being back here in Holborn. It's not our first rodeo here, you know.
It is not.
Not, but we didn't see it all when we were here before. And we've got a reason to be back, haven't we?
Yep. Well, so we are just prepping for a brand new Hidden London tour.
We are indeed.
Of Holborn, which has been something that we'd like to do for quite a long time.
Long time.
But finally, it's coming on board this summer. And because of that, I've been doing a lot of looking into the station and found all of these extra bits that have informed what the tour's going to be like, but also some parts that we can't take the public into. So
we're going to tease you the tour a bit and also show you some bits which, for obvious reasons, can't be on the tour.
Yep.
So,
I love it.
shall we?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Get inside.
I just love the platforms 5 and 6 down there.
It was our first visit, wasn't
Our
it?
first mandate.
oh, when you had your Prosecco and pizza.
Prosecco pizza and an emergency staircase. This would have been the
2019?
original route. Yeah. And this would have been the original route down to the platforms.
To the spiral staircase.
So on our way down, we're going to see some really beautiful tiles.
Yes, we are.
We absolutely are.
We love this combo of tiles, don't
Yeah.
we? This
It's
is
the bestest.
gorgeous.
Wouldn't be Hidden London without the toilet.
We're just going to go use it.
Right. So now this is all going to be on the tour, guys.
Okay, so this is what the public will see.
We'll
You-
see this.
We'll see.
This exciting basement room.
Well, and they're going to get the aroma.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
so
that's-
just to orientate us, through there is where the tour's going to be going, which is the spiral staircase. Big reveal moment. However, we are kind of stood in the basement where the lift shafts essentially are that way. And we've not been allowed in this room before.
I have, but a very long time ago.
We
well,
haven't.
there you go.
No,
Yeah.
never.
We haven't.
Yeah.
So
So
this
These
is
are our
exciting.
guys'
This is
secret
special.
spaces
I
today.
think about 22 years ago was the last time I was in
Oh,
here.
so yeah. Tell me forgot.
Carry
Oh,
on.
gosh.
Not
Anyway,
even qualify anymore.
but as you can see, it's got a no authorised persons allowed. So this won't be, unfortunately, on the tour for obvious reasons, as you're about to see. But it's fun to see because it informs quite a bit.
All the noise.
Aye, aye.
Immediately the noise.
Lights on.
Oh, that's a
Did
bit.
you just go, oi, oi, lights up?
I did.
That's very, very exciting. Look at that.
That's very civilised, isn't it?
It's very.
Oh right, no, I'm in the wrong room then.
Nice.
That's still great to see.
Okay.
I got all excited there. I got
Okay,
all
then it might be
excited.
this actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one with all the interesting labels.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's a bit
nice.
more like it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Should we?
That's a bit more like it.
Shall we? Do you want to go in first?
I do.
Go on then.
I've
Pop
got it.
yourself in there then.
Wait.
It's a bit loud in here, isn't it?
Quite loud, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of head height hazards too.
Yeah. So we're basically at the top of a lift shaft that's been modified, aren't we?
Yeah.
With a fan sat on top of it. blowing air out.
Yeah. And just around the corner, I think there's some parts of the escalator, and we can see into the lift shaft in that way, but it's around the corner. All of this equipment.
So this is air extraction.
Yeah.
Is it?
There's a big hole at the top of the building where this is all extracting to.
So effectively, the lift shaft goes right up through the building.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they modified the building to be able to use it as a vent shaft.
Oh, that's quite an expensive fan to run.
Yes. There's a lot of power goes
It's
into
a
it.
lot of power, but hey, keeps people cooler down below, so
Yeah,
much
absolutely.
appreciated.
Incredible. I think this is an old lift shaft. You know?
Well, if we go around,
See
you'll
more.
see more. Come on with
Okay.
me.
It's like somebody's been paintballing.
Oh, okay. So what have we got here? Look how big this area is, though. It's a lot bigger than you think it might be.
I love the
Oh,
old
yeah.
school door.
It's like a TARDIS.
Oh heavens above.
And there, we know this. Alex, you remember these kinds of things, don't you?
All of it, yeah. I mean, I'm just a bit amazed that. So this is the 4 escalators that take us down to the Central and the Piccadilly line, aren't they?
That's
I think?
right.
It's quite impressive, really, isn't it? Because the fan motor was probably about a third of that size, and you've got that motor doing all of that work with all 100+ people on an escalator.
It is remarkable though, and I always get completely shocked by just the size of the chain that the
Yeah.
escalators have.
Let's just
Have
get
a
that
quick
for
look
the
at it.
viewers.
Yeah. It's like a big bike chain.
Incredible.
Massive.
And isn't it weird? I mean, we would expect it to be here, but this is an enormous
Yeah,
chamber.
it's huge.
Yeah. It's much bigger than you think, but it needs to be, of
Yeah.
course. Now, the escalators at Holborn used to be the longest on the network for a while, I believe, until they changed them at Angel.
And when they
Just hits it to the post now, doesn't it?
But the station itself is fascinating because I'm right in thinking that when they created the interchange between the Piccadilly line and the Central line here, they got rid of British Museum Station.
Yes.
So all this is kind of paid to British Museum.
That's right, and British Museum so close. I literally
It's
was just nudging it up the
160
road.
metres away.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's it.
yeah, just didn't need it.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Really very close. And oddly, it was one of those occasions where, when you put escalators in the station and either the platforms or the surface building have to move,
Yeah.
because obviously they're at an angle.
Whereas
They didn't point the escalators that way to the British Museum
no,
station
they went the
platforms.
other way
They
around.
just moved the whole station platforms
Yeah.
this way.
It's
And
remarkable.
they kept the station and the services running throughout the entire reconstruction.
Genius.
So
Genius.
Yeah.
it's an
Well, as
impressive
I say,
feat.
it's a station that just has such a lovely story, and even the frontage. When you think about that mixture of Holden
Yeah.
and Leslie
Leslie
Green, it's all there, even in stone. It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful
We
station.
were having a coffee before we started filming, and I just caught Alex just wistfully looking up at the stone building, and he was having a lovely
I was
little
having a
moment to
moment.
himself
I was having a
there.
little moment.
We've all just had coffee. Can you tell?
I didn't.
Now,
What else have you got to show us?
I believe if we go round here, we're going to see some remnants of the lift shaft.
It's
So,
like Siddy's Chamber of Secrets.
here's where we want to go. And actually, if we look at it, there's like a curve to this wall here, isn't there?
There it is.
That's the clue.
Ah.
Key moments. Lead on.
Oh, it's got sort of that South Kentish town vibes.
Nice.
Do you know that sort of dim
Yeah.
light, dim warm light
With the brick work.
with the brick? No
I mean, the
fireplace.
fact it's
though.
got any light is different to.
Yeah, Kentish. Yeah.
I know that looks great.
Oh, there was a chill.
This is going to need the torch. I don't think that's going to make any difference, Siddy.
I think you may be right.
I think
Yeah.
that's just switching it off.
Oh, yeah, that's going to need a Chris.
Oh,
One of them.
There
All
it
right,
is.
show me them.
Do you want me to take that?
No, it's
torch?
all right. Lead on.
Okay, yeah, just go into the
It's
darkness.
going to be very
filthy.
dusty, yeah.
Keep going in.
You're all
Yeah.
right.
It's
All right, mate.
Any
Right.
trip
Got
hazards?
it?
No, you're all good.
There's a
Just
step
come
down
over,
in
come,
it.
come to me,
Oh, hello.
and you'll be all right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Lord
my
have mercy.
goodness, I totally missed
That-
that. Oh my goodness!
That's quite a drop.
Sorry.
That's all right.
That's way lower than I thought it was
Wow.
going to
Hold on.
be. That's insane.
Isn't it?
It's quite crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
The thing is, Holborn is one of the deepest stations on the network. We just don't know it. So
Quite a
from
long way down.
I genuinely took such a big gasp. I think I've sucked in loads of dust from this
Look at the top
handrail.
of the thing there. You can see how the rings are bolted together. The
Yeah.
holes are left here. It is so bizarre.
God, it looks like something out of the alien ship.
I know.
yeah,
That's really,
Look at
really
that.
quite
Oh my
impressively
gosh.
deep.
It's
isn't it?
literally, I mean, it's actually, oh my giddy aunt, I've just seen a bit further down.
My mind can't comprehend that it's that deep. Like it's blown.
Now, actually, do you guys see there's like a little light at the bottom there?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Just the lit bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that there we can go there in the
Okay.
station later if you want to have
Yes,
a quick
please.
look. Yeah.
Tell me, because just to orientate ourselves, because obviously if you're watching at home, you're not entirely sure where we are in the station.
Yeah.
We are one floor below ground level, almost below the booking hall, aren't we?
Yes,
So
pretty much.
This ringed tunnel, this
Yep.
lift shaft, I guess they've just dismantled it to
Yeah,
this height, have
yeah.
they? Which is
They've-
why we can see
They've
the.
kind of cut through it,
Yeah.
and then they've built the escalator shaft, the escalator room that we were just in, kind of through the lift shaft.
Which
so this is like
happens
passive.
an awful lot. A lot of the stations that are converted from lift to escalator, that's exactly what happens. The new escalator machine rooms are just built straight through the lift shafts.
Yeah.
From where I'm standing now and looking at the light there and the camera there and everything else, you look like one of those people who was an eyewitness to a terrible crime who's been anonymised.
With like a with like
like-
with the changed
Can I-
voice.
We've
Yeah,
changed
I
his
was gonna
voice
say.
to protect him, yes. It's
Now-
just bizarre.
If we turn around, we can also see it's got a vent splitter here, and can you feel the
Yeah.
cool breeze?
It's very breezy
Coming
here,
in.
yeah.
You know, I'm really glad I brought the torch today because
Yeah.
we really need it in here. There's just
Sorry,
no way.
we all the rest of us failed.
I'm gonna.
Are we allowed
I
to
think we
walk
should
that
have a
way?
little
Yeah.
walkie down, shall we?
Yeah.
Ladies first,
Oh, wow.
Well, Chris, go first.
Lights the way.
women and children
It's,
to be
it's
second.
very reminiscent of Euston
Yes.
and Old Street, Laura. And yeah, you've been to Old Street now as well,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know the really weird thing about this, and again, it's one of those things. If you're watching this at home, you oh
Do you
man,
know, I've forgotten this from when I was
about
here
to say
last
dust.
time.
Do you know what? I was thinking as we walked along then, that's not just dust, there's feathers. I think like a bird has flown into this fan and there's loads of feathers
But
everywhere
then
as well.
also, yeah, when you see there, this
Wow.
is why I wanted you guys to just see it, and also why we won't be able to take the public here because this is such cramped, and also we'll be doing this in the summer. This fan is going to be on in the summer.
Yeah, this is somewhere you do not want to stand when that fan is doing
No,
this.
it's not logistically or health and safety viable, but very cool to
Yeah,
be
it
here
is.
for this small
I mean,
moment
And
in
it's
time.
just a way of showing that, you know, the old lift shafts, which have been, you know, disused since the 30s, are still being used to help ventilate the station.
This to me just looks like a kind of a NASA wind tunnel, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You imagine
Like the
testing aircraft
extraction,
models
yeah.
in here.
but I now get
I
that
think NASA
vibe.
might be a bit more contemporary.
Well, a little bit less dusty, hopefully. But you know when you talk about Moorgate, the tour for Moorgate, that
yes.
anyone can go on, it's fabulous. That moment when you turn around a corner and see that fan. Or do you remember when we went to York Road and we turned around and saw that
Yes.
fan?
Yeah.
And this is what I got when I walked around here. So much as it's not on the tour, you can see it now, and
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
I'm
Yeah,
struggling
I have
with
to
the
say,
dust a little bit. Are you?
I'm
You
just,
all right?
I'm just
My
loving the
eyes.
Blair Witch vibe in here. I think it's very,
Yeah.
well, very atmospheric.
Yeah.
I'm going to go around this way
Oh, lovely.
to go out.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow because you have the light.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Oh, wow, look at this.
You
You
guys-
don't often see manhole covers in walls.
On the sides.
Is it a person hole?
Yes, indeed, it is a person hole. An access panel, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
Well, here we are again.
Yeah.
It's a bigger drop every time you see it, to be honest, isn't it?
It's huge. And like I said, we can go down to the bottom of it and look up.
Nixie, it's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
It is ridiculous. And I don't think you even really twig how deep we are. Because of course we go down 2 escalators to the Piccadilly line, don't we? There's a switchback.
about 38 metres. It's really
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
And then there's that ridiculous bit of twisty-turny tunnel where you're going up and down to get to the platforms on the Piccadilly.
I think.
Let's
Um,
head down below.
let's. Should we have a selfage?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
can
yeah.
we?
You know, we know how the fans like us doing a bit of selfage.
Well,
Oh, we're all going to be... Yeah, that's going to be tricky.
At the camera. Cool.
Cool. Now, shall we go down below?
yeah. Yeah, go down below.
I think it's time. I believe it's warmer down there.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
you stole my line. I was just about to use it
And
too.
also, damn it, I got...
Bit of rookie schmuck
Enough.
going
So
on.
we-
Well,
Let's,
it's the wrong. The railing was the wrong height.
I'm just checking. Oh, I've done it too. So
There we go.
We're all done
We're all railed.
Out we go.
So Alex, just before we go in, I need you to breathe in and consume and like absorb this moment.
This is so cool because when Nixie and I first met, this is the first little cheeky evening out that we had coming here to see
First
this.
ever.
Yep, we
Ever.
took him to Charing Cross first.
Yes, I thought it was
And
Charing
then
Cross.
because we were heading towards Peter Express,
Ah, so
we
same
Came here on the
night.
way, and it was brilliant. And this, I remember this vividly when I opened this door and the feeling I got. And I'm just going to see whether you do the same.
Hang
You
on, so
ready?
you've had this moment.
Oh, this is
Oh,
this
I
is the
thought
one.
this was your first
This is why I
thing.
love this station so much. Watch. Ready?
Yeah. Ta-da!
Thailand.
Yeah.
See,
It's divine.
It
I
is.
love it.
It's
It's
nice to
so
be,
well preserved, I think.
It
That's
is.
why
It's
got-
just. It does something to me.
after you, Maddie.
it's nice to be back with a really good camera as well to capture those colours.
It honestly makes
This
the hair
tile,
like my
this
neck stand
tile
up.
combo is like
A favourite.
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is a really, really lovely
And
plane.
that's why this station is so beautiful. A, it means something to me because it was our first friendship mandate, if you like. But but the station
Friendship
is
mandate.
so,
It's the first friendship
so,
Alex
so
had.
cool. So,
It
but
happens.
it's such a wonderful colour combo.
It
Do you
is.
know
And-
what I particularly love is that Laura's come wearing
Well,
almost that tile
this-
colour. Come on,
I'm-
just comparison.
I go on about it all the time.
It's
just
close.
too light, isn't it? But this is my bathroom tile.
Right.
I loved it that much, and maybe I should have paired it with a little burgundy maroon.
So where's next?
Well, let's go down because this is the bit that's going to be on the tour, isn't it?
This is going to be on the tour.
Well, let's do-
and well, we don't want to spoil everything that's going to be on the tour, so we're not going to do the whole tour route. We're going to go down here,
You're teasing.
show you a forgotten cupboard on the platform.
Is
Have a
Mr.
look.
Tumnus at the back of it?
Have a look at a secret door.
How Aslan is, isn't
And
it?
then, actually, we're going to go and look at the central line because last time we were here, we didn't look at the central line at all. So
We were very
Let's
remiss.
do this.
See,
go.
look at it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And look, this is a replacement staircase, presumably, because we can see the gap.
yeah,
At the bottom of the tiles, there's like a jump. And of course, this is a really good way of showing how one of these shafts is actually built out, because you've got the rings, then you've got these metal struts, and then you've got this kind of...
Expermet. It's basically
That's
a
good.
it's kind
expanded
of a
mesh.
mesh.
Is that the Expomet
Yep,
up there?
that's it. That's exactly it up there.
And on top of that, they then render it with plaster or whatever
That's
it is.
it. They give it a render and then paint it, or
Or
Tile
make
it.
a clock out of it.
yeah, that is a curious objet, isn't it, up there?
Where the one Dalmatian's gone, I'm not sure, but
Right.
shall we?
Past
Down
four,
we
though,
go.
according to that.
Yeah,
Better get a wiggle on.
large clock. We're back to episode 1. When will it ever end? Huh. Here.
But here you go.
Again, this would be the equivalent, really, of when you get the stairs at Covent Garden and you think,
Yes.
It's deeper than Covent
yeah,
Garden.
it is.
Yeah. Because you're up on more of a hill here, aren't you?
I just love it. Well, absolutely love this station. This
So
is
nice feel.
it's going to be a
it, isn't
cracker
it?
of a tour as well because there's
yeah.
so much of the real original stuff
I know.
still here.
And if you come on the tour, you get to find out what's through this door.
Apparently, the emergency way out.
Oh, right, okay. So this is where we are. This
Didn't
is
know
where
that
we
was
are.
there, did you?
We
No.
emerge.
I like that. That's fun.
I know, and
Well,
it's
it
so
might-
nondescript. It doesn't really look like
Yeah.
a door, does it?
It makes sense though, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
that would have then come straight out and onto
There and
the
there.
Piccadilly line.
Superb.
We're going to go eastbound.
Right, okay. take your pick. Aha.
Haha.
Boom.
Okay. So obviously the platform's covered in the panels depicting, you know, British Museum, which were installed in the 80s. But we haven't seen this before.
All these panels, Alex. Have you got mummy issues?
No, but I have now.
Oh,
That is.
there's a
oh,
lot
oh.
going on.
Cartouche. How
And-
very appropriate.
And the
for
Piccadilly line.
the frieze, yeah?
Freeze.
Well, how very appropriate for being so near the British Museum that we have a cartouche.
I love that.
So I don't actually have the key to this door here, because as you can see, danger of electric shock.
Yeah.
But
Let's not go in there.
there is another door just beyond the gate,
Let's do it.
which we can have a quick look in, I think. Right.
It'll be hard
Alex,
to top that
what?
cupboard, won't it?
Let's just wait until the train passes.
We are such lucky kids.
Right.
Such lucky
Want to come
kids.
through?
Yes.
And we got a toot.
And we got 2 toots, didn't we? Yeah. From a very happy driver. Sorry, Nixie.
Okay, let's have a butcher's.
Ready? Do you want me to hold that for you?
Is there a light switch?
Is there a light switch?
Is that there?
We've got lights.
There's Chris.
Oh,
well
man.
But also, what's interesting here, look at that. We know this station had an extensive use during the Second World War, and this is also very wartime.
It's the right kind of two-tone colour palette, isn't it? For a bit of wartime conversion. And Alex, I mean, the bit that I'm surprised you haven't noticed is the nice Bakelite junction box
Do
up
you know,
there.
there's so many things about this station. This is the third
Lord of his
time
face.
we visited this station, and it is still revealing joy. It is incredible. These tiles, I'm absolutely in love with this design. Absolutely in love with it. It's a shame, isn't it, that with all the renovations that are taking place at this station, that beautiful Holborn frieze is going to disappear on the disused platforms because, again, this is a time capsule of joy.
Yeah.
Laura, pass the tile test.
They absolutely. They have tried to retain as much as they can on platform 5. You're right. The signal cabin is quite large, but there's some little sparkles of
So good.
of tile left.
So good. And
I mean, you're never so safe in a fire as when you're in this cupboard, are you?
I challenge you to a water duel.
Assuming they're all out of date, but
I was going to say, we actually haven't really discovered much of the central line at this station before, because we've mostly focused on the pick. So what about we head on over to
Yeah.
the central?
Yeah.
Okay, after you, Laura.
it's a treat today, isn't it?
So now we are at the bottom of the shaft we stood atop of. It's harder to see though,
That's
isn't it?
a
Because
lot
you've
of
got
Yeah,
the
or the
stack.
rack. Yeah.
Oh wow, we've got one of these blinky lights. Those of you who used to play Doom, that means there's a secret doorway somewhere around it.
Oh, wait, there is
Oh my word, we
indeed.
found it.
Should we do it? Let's go. Let's
Let's
have
go.
a look. This is
What lies beneath, guys?
Oh,
so just for anyone who's watching this now, this is the bottom of the shaft that we look down upstairs, right?
yeah.
There's
It
on a bit
is
further down
huge.
there as well.
Oh, it goes a long way down. So that's
Yeah,
the
that's
sump.
the sump. That's it, yeah.
Sump of the lift
Mind
shaft.
your head.
Dusty tiles.
very dusty.
Oh well, more tilage.
Oh, look. Oh, look.
Ah.
Yeah. So this is the back. This would have been the back of the lifts, right? So, you know, lifts come down here. So this is where you probably would have exited the station.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
There's some lovely curvature tiles here as well behind
Yeah,
us.
so many curves. You can see where tunnel carried on through there, but that's been rendered
Yeah.
up.
and then this
Got a
is
battery room.
And you always talk about the the bits left by
Witness
tiles when they
marks.
come off.
Yeah.
Witness marks. It's so obvious here, isn't it? It's so
It really
beautifully
is.
obvious.
It's like kind of tentacles, or, suckers on tentacles almost, isn't it?
I like
suckers
the,
on tentacles.
Yeah.
literally the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just thought this is something, we have, like, it's such a confined space, so we're not going to be able to take the tour group in here. But
Yeah.
it's nice to see
It
that
is.
some parts of it remain, right?
This door reminds me a little bit of these little ones we went through at Old Street as well.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. And modified for a very similar reason. You know, this is clearly being done to seal it off from a ventilation point of view.
Well, as
Okay.
you felt upstairs,
yes, much cooler.
big fan is connected to this. So when they do switch the fan on,
Oh, yeah.
which I'm sure they'll be doing soon, we're shooting this in May.
Yeah.
By the time it gets into midsummer.
That door, you'd really have to pull that to open it once that fan's running because it's been sucked shut with the power
And
of
then
the
you
fan.
get plastic bags straight into
Oh
the
my word, yes. Right then.
Central
where's
line?
next?
That's
Central
Right,
line.
let's go.
Mind your head. Right, guys.
Oh, that was 007, that train. Hey.
So this is something that Simon Dickinson showed me. He
And this
was
is
a
the
season-
westbound Central Line platform here.
So all of this constructed in the 30s, which forced British Museum to close.
Why those platforms are suspiciously large because they're 30s ones, not
And
original.
We get a bit of a
Central
whiff
Railway.
of horse.
Horse?
Horse.
Horse?
Horse.
My kingdom for a horse?
Yeah. What, like reprocessed oats and hay? Oh yeah. Ooh. Kind of electrical vibe.
So guys, we get a glimpse of the Holden Central Line tiles here, the biscuit-coloured tiles.
Yeah. It's almost like St Paul's and other.
And it's a bit meh.
Alex, I'm sorry, I'm going electrical again. That's got a bit of age to it, hasn't it?
Hasn't it
Little ventilation fan.
It's just a
That
fan
looks
that's so
30s,
small
doesn't it?
as well.
Yeah.
Looks so
It's a
tiny compared to...
centrifugal.
I've seen bigger. I've
See,
seen bigger.
Underwhelmed.
Yeah.
What is this here?
Crikey.
Lot of wiring.
I don't know, but it's quite dusty if you leave
Lot
it.
of wiring.
Well, I'm
It's
taking
not been a good day.
You're all
Remaining
loving your light
clean,
colours
having
today,
a
aren't
you?
look
Look at
the
this.
state.
Well, I guess my jacket did need a wash. Anyway, we are going through here. This is the last secret bit of Holborn
Ooh,
that
I'm
we've left to see.
flabbergasted by what we've seen just today.
A ghast of flabber.
My gasps are flabbered.
And if
It's a
you've
bit
enjoyed
s-
this, book yourself a tour and also go back and watch the original shows that we did on this.
Two of
much
them.
earlier.
All right, ready?
Open
Are
away.
you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, look.
Oh,
Oh, look.
Beautiful. Oh, well done, Siddy. This is the one bit of Holborn I have never seen before.
This is still on.
Lord, that's a valve. Is that a valve?
Yeah,
no, it's
sorry.
a bulb. It's a bulb.
What is
Good
that?
Lord.
What's the
Well-
aroma?
And that is warm electricals. These bits of signalling apparatus are, you'll see examples of stuff like this in our depot collection and not dissimilar to some of the controls you see at Edgware Road,
Yeah.
signal cabin, for
It's
example.
lovely though, isn't it?
It's great. And look,
Marble Arch, Grange Hill via Woodford.
But even up there it says Wood Lane, contact phone numbers.
But look
oh
at
So
yeah,
that's
yes,
gotta
which
be-
I won't show.
Oh, sorry.
denim.
Yeah. Oh, good
Denim.
spot, sir. Now, for those of you who know your Central Line history, that would have been the extension over on the west side, which was cancelled due to post-war austerities. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff on there, isn't there?
I really want to twist one of these knobs.
Please don't.
Cheeky. Have you got a torch?
It is connected to something.
Yeah.
Come and look at
It's
it.
like a
I'll
big
shine
old
the torch.
handle.
I want to
That
see
looks
what's
like
in
it
there.
was, what do you think, clock or something?
Well,
on that witness
Could
mark?
be, but look at that. There's your blue line. Oh, it's huge.
Oh,
All the kit around the back, look.
Someone's got to hold this
Good
door.
lord.
to be honest.
All the fuses for the signal cabin, basically. Wow, that's great.
Cylinder pressure,
Westinghouse brake.
I know, look.
It's
Oh,
sensational.
and then over there, the more modern version.
We're trying to break into this bit here.
Break
Little
into
bit.
it.
Ooh, law!
I did
She's
it.
in.
She's
Yeah,
done it.
This is every signal cabin will have one of these. It's got its logbook and essential diagrams and
Oh,
fault
God, I'm
reporting
going to be
cards.
so filthy.
Oh, you've got defective. Oh, look, you've still
There's a
got.
flag under
You've still
there
got
as well.
the flag.
Oh, yeah.
Red flag, and there's a green one behind it as well.
Yeah,
there's
just
a
that.
green one there.
And that was for manual signalling. If for
That's
some
really
reason the
cute.
lights
Let me do this.
failed.
And then also down there, those things, those stop.
Yeah, this is when you use Scotch and clip points, I believe.
Wedge them, don't you?
That's it, yeah. And look, you've got spare bulb in there for the, I presume for that diagram there. What else have we got?
Well, Alex, I've just
Spare
handed
fuses.
handed
There
him
you go.
this.
This is ancient. Look at it. That is the circuit diagram, presumably, for that.
Yeah, that's right. Receiver outputs. We've got
1982.
So a receiver and transmitter. You've got the transmitters here,
Yeah.
and then that's for the diagram for the receivers. Wow.
Oh,
Well, it's quite warm in here. So Alex, I think it's time to turn to camera and say
Back to the studio. You see, that just goes to show how much that station has to give. If you think about it, there's a whole tour and we still have enough for an episode of stuff that we can't show. I mean, Laura, we have to just comment on the red, white and pale blue tiles of the Piccadilly Line branch. It's beautiful, aren't they?
It's my uber favourite. I mean, love, like or loathe tiles. I'm convinced that it will get some kind of reaction from anybody that watches it. It's like a tile combo on speed.
It's so cool. And the station as it is now is a labyrinth of escalators. And to think back to the days when there were lift shafts and a much, much more sort of compact setup, it is remarkable how that station has grown, Nixie, especially given the fact that its arrival and the arrival of the Central Line basically knocked out the need for British Museum Station.
I was about to say it gets the full set because not only has it got disused parts within it, it's also got a disused station almost right next to it. Maybe the tiling thing is because it's a sort of a slightly patriotic color, isn't it? Sort of red, white, and blue almost of the tiles that are there. But yeah, I've got a lot of fondness for Holborn. It's really close to the museum. So it's a station I've used a lot, and it's got all of these hidden layers and interesting stories. Who thought that neutrino research would be taking place in a
That's crazy.
disused station?
Like, that's
right?
genuinely
wild.
crazy.
And I love as well that with that station, you know, because often when you go and have a look around, you have to buy a ticket and travel somewhere to see the internals of stations. But the fun starts at Holborn before you even buy a ticket. Just the frontage is a mixture of Leslie Green and Charles Holden designs, isn't it? I mean, Sid, the frontage is gorgeous. I know it's sandstone, it's pastiche because of the local area, but it is still stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, well, and it's very typical kind of Holden-esque because it's got those big windows on the second floor. But yeah, it was an anomaly when it first opened because yeah, actually the first Leslie Green building was made out of Belgian granite, I believe. No, or it was sort of red tinted because everything on Kingsway was supposed to be either Portland stone or these particular types of this particular type of stone. I do like Holborn. You know, it's hard, the frontage. I feel like you see it much better when you are on the other side of Kingsway looking at it. I think it's quite hard to grasp its beauty when you're stood right next to it.
Yeah, and the pictures of the frontage, I'm just looking at them now actually in the Tiles of the Unexpected book because I have it on my lap.
Don't worry, I'm going to be floating it just here.
You've got them just there, yeah. They are just so pretty. The frontages are pretty, and I'm far more of a Leslie Green fan than I am a Charles Holden fan. Sorry to say that, fans, but there we are. But I still love the mix of the two, and I love how that station just encapsulates all the design concepts that really span many years in the network's history.
I particularly like the way that Holden didn't feel the need to completely sweep away all of the Leslie Green stuff when that facade was upgraded. It goes to show that he wasn't minded to sort of just try and erase other people's work in that section which does survive intact. And I think it's a unique example of a Leslie Green station as well because it's done in that Portland stone rather than the tiling.
Gorgeous.
Do you know what's so weird though as well is imagine what it would have actually looked like in 1933 when it opens, because the tiles on the Piccadilly Line platforms and in that part of the station were still in such good nick that they thought, you know what, let's not retile this, and they kept that red, blue and white. And then you went over to the Central Line and it's this biscuity kind of color, it just would have looked really odd, I think.
A total sort of slam shut of two types of station.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's half of its joy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another station that captures my imagination like Holborn does. And now to look at it, it's all sorts of metal panels and all the kind of things we're used to seeing down there every day. But to look behind those panels, it's all still there, and it all just sits there in its grandeur. And I was trying to think about, we can all pick one thing, your favorite bit of Holborn. I think I'm not going to say the tiles, Law, because that will probably be yours. But I tell you what I really love about it, and you will see it on the tour, is some of the remnants of the posters and the wayfinding sort of direction signs to say where things are. And it's all still down there. It's absolutely gorgeous. What would you say is your favourite bit, Nixie?
Oh, it is tricky. There are a lot of things on that tour route that I like. I actually quite like the vitreous panels that are on the central line, though, with the things to do with the British Museum collection on them. But I think the thing I like about Holborn is the complexity of how the platforms are fitted underground, because they've tried to cram them in underneath the two roads, and it makes it incredibly awkward. And I always think it must have been mind-bogglingly difficult to navigate all of those subways when they were in use for that spur out to Aldwych. So I think the fact that it still messes with my mind, even though I've known it for nearly 25 years now, I admire that about it. Its intricacy.
It's fabulous. Siddles, what do you think is your favourite bit?
It's a really tough question. Do you think on the tour or in the whole station?
Well, let's tease the tour. What's the best bit of the tour?
I think I'm really proud of the audio-visual content that we've put into the tour. I think it's really going to heighten people's experience of a Hidden London site. I just think it's fun, unexpected, and a big kind of pop. So that's my favorite bit. But I'm not going to say what it is, because obviously you need to come on the tour and see it.
Fabulous. A banging tour it's going to be. And Laura, did I predict correctly?
I mean, utterly predictable, but because they are so divine, the tiles. But I do like the sense, the different sense of space that the different areas give you. Again, I don't want to give too much away, and if you've been on it, I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. But there are different, there are the way the tour makes me feel, which is really, really important, as you know. The different spaces we go into, I think, elicit slightly different types of feelings, and that's really important as well.
What a lovely way to put it. And it's funny because that station particularly always brings back such happy memories. The very first time Nixie took me touring, and then we went off for pizza and a bottle of fizz, and it was just such a lovely evening. It was a beautiful warm evening in the summer, and we just had a look around this stunning station. Sometimes you go into places that feel a bit spooky. Never felt spooked out in Holborn. It's just such a
Do you still remember the way it made you feel? Like, can you still? So
because the roundel, the Holborn roundel was on that platform that ran down to Aldwych, and I remember standing there. Nixie took a photograph of me, and I still got it. In fact, I'll probably dig it out. It just brought back so many memories, and to think now, umpteen series through this, to think that's how it all began. I just love that station so much. Such a special place in my heart.
I think Alex thought Christmas had come in July on that evening. Got to get around there.
Good. So good. I mean, girls, you'll know this, that thing that Nixie does as a kind of teacher through and through. We're walking through parts of London going, so do you know what that is? So do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? It's like the best walking tour you could ever imagine. It was wonderful. Thank you so much. The tickets are available from the LT Museum website. Okay, so if you want to go and have a look around, it's honestly a stunning tour of a really, really cool location. And thank you so much, as always, team, for being part of this. Thank you, Nixie.
A pleasure. Lovely to share this one again and to keep on finding extra bits to share with people. Go and enjoy the tour if you can.
Siddy, your wise words will be broadcast so many times through tour guides, many walking around that place, with loads and loads of our fans as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of bittersweet for me to have written it and gotten it all ready and not be able to be there on the day it opens because I'll be putting my feet up on maternity leave. But you guys will send me lots and lots of photos, promise.
I just want to get a sedan chair for you and carry you there. That would be so nice. We could
That'd be
have you in a
good.
sedan chair, me and Nixie walking along Kingsway like this with two poles in our hands. It's fantastic. And Laura, thank you so much as always, my darling.
Absolute pleasure. Anything where the team have been involved from inception through to delivery is just a pure delight for us to be able to kind of get that out there and open that space up. So big thanks to the Holborn team. Bunch of gems. They're amazing. And I just hope people really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Get yourself some tickets. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, Nixie, you're just leaning in a kind of like, I've got something to say way.
Well, the other thing I think we should say a big well done for is to Laura for working through not only on the operational side of this tour, but also particularly for getting the age of the tours lowered. So now we can take parties with people down to the age of 10, which is a big boon for anybody who's got younger people who have been dying to get into these hidden London spaces and share these stories with us. So a big shout out to Laura and the team for managing to work that through. It's not been easy, and I know it's taken many years to get to the point where we could do that.
Isn't that exciting though? I mean, God, imagine as a kid, if I was able to go around these places, I would have been so chuffed. Oh, the London Transport Museum was enough of a kind of massive bang of delight in my mind without anything else, just going around the stations. It's incredible. Well, look, thank you very much indeed, as always, for watching. If you want to follow us on Instagram, Alex Grundon, Chris Nick, Siddy Holloway, Hidden London Law, and at LT Museum. You found us on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. And we'll be back somewhere very, very soon indeed. In the meantime, have yourselves a great day and stay safe.